Hi, my name is Wendy Hill, and my Justice Profile presentation is on Samuel A. Alito, Jr. He's the 110th U.S. Supreme Court Justice. He's a solid conservative, and the U.S. Supreme Court, it has 4 solid liberals, 4 solid conservatives, and 1 swing voter. That comprises the 9 of the U.S. Supreme Court. Supreme Court Justice Alito, he was nominated in 2005 by President George W. Bush. At the time of his nomination, Alito was a judge for the Third Circuit on the United States Court of Appeals, and President George W.'s father, George H. Bush, had appointed him to that position in 1990. Samuel Alito, he was selected only after Harriet Miers withdrew herself from the confirmation process. And then Alito's nomination was confirmed with a Senate vote of 58 to 42. Samuel Alito, he was the Federal Appeals Court judge and was nominated to replace retiring Justice Sandra Day O'Connor in the United States Supreme Court. So, Samuel Alito, he was born in 1950 in Trenton, New Jersey. His father and mother, they were both teachers. Samuel Sr., he was an Italian immigrant, and his mother, Rose Fredusco, she was an Italian American. Samuel Alito, he does have one sister, Rosemary, his younger sister, and she is an employment defense lawyer. He's married to Martha Ann Baumgardner. He got married in 1985. They have 2 children, Laura and Philip. And Martha Ann, she was a former law librarian in the U.S. Attorney's Office. So, Samuel Alito, he attended public high school. He was the president of the student council, and he graduated as class valedictorian. He received his bachelor's degree from Princeton University, and in 1975 he received a Juris Doctor from Yale Law School. Samuel Alito, he was drafted to serve in the Vietnam War in 1969. He deferred his service while enrolled in college. While he was at Princeton, he joined the ROTC so that he could enter active service as an officer after college. After his graduation from Princeton, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant, but he deferred his service a second time and entered Yale Law School. After graduation from law school, he then served 3 months of active service, and that was from September to December in 1975. He served in the Army Reserves from 1972 until 1980, where he was honorably discharged with the rank of captain. His professional career, you can see here, he got out of law school and he went right into it. He has served an amazing career, law clerk to Honorable Leonard Garth, and now as Associate Justice, Supreme Court of the United States. His career is just outstanding. He at his time during Princeton, the entry in his senior yearbook read, "Sam intends to go to law school and eventually warm a seat on the Supreme Court." He is sometimes called Scalita, I think I'm enunciating that correct, due to his similarity to Justice Antonin Scalia's conservative views and Italian roots. And Samuel Alito, he doesn't really really care for that nickname. He's always been a Philadelphia Phillies fan. As a child, he dreamed of being a baseball commissioner. He was nominated in 2018 New Jersey Hall of Fame in the public service category. Unfortunately, he did pick up the nickname Strip Search Sammy from critics due to his opinion in the 2004 case Doe versus Grudy. He did not think that the police officers violated any constitutional rights when they strip searched a mother and her 10-year-old daughter. This case, they were in a house. The warrant apparently said that they could search anybody in the house. The mother-daughter were in the house and they were searched. His notable cases: Gonzalez versus Carhart in 2007, that upheld the Federal Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act 2003. District of Columbia versus Heller, that established that the Second Amendment protects an individual right to possess firearms. Burwell versus Hobby Lobby Stores, Inc., that's 2014, recognized a right of closely held private corporations to obtain, on the grounds of religious liberty, exemptions from generally applicable laws. Glossop versus Gross in 2015, that upheld Oklahoma's use of the sedative midazolam in lethal injections. There, he placed the burden of proof on the plaintiffs, who were actually a group of condemned prisoners, and they were to show the state's method of execution presented substantial risk of severe pain, and that alternative methods of capital punishment were available. And then in 2022, there was an apparent draft of a major opinion in Dobbs versus Jackson's Women Health Organization. It was written by Samuel Alito, but it was leaked to a news publication, and it was an extraordinary breach of protocol. And it should have been the court's normally confidential deliberation. But the draft, it was declared to be authentic by Chief Justice Roberts, and it indicated that a majority of justices had voted to overturn two historic Supreme Court rulings that had established and affirmed the constitutional right to obtain an abortion. That's Roe versus Wade, 1973, and Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania versus Casey in 1992. As expected in the court's official decision in Dobbs, issued in 2022, Alito held that there is no constitutional right to abortion and that Roe and Casey must be overruled. Personal quotes. His personal quotes aren't too full of life, but private religious speech can't be discriminated against. It has to be treated equally with secular speech. You can go back and read these. And here is a picture of the U.S. Supreme Court Justice. Thank you. And as always, if there's any questions or anything, please put them in the discussion. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, and I appreciate you taking the time to review the video. Thank you.